Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about order of operations today. As you can see, my mini lesson video that I had originally planned on doing is included here on this page, just in case I also haven't linked on modules. The practice problems that we were going to do, or I was going to do for you, I've taken a picture of and inserted in here so we can still go over those steps together. So when we're doing order of operations, we want to make sure that we are following PEMDAS, or parentheses, exponents. We would multiply and divide from left to right, and then add and subtract from left to right. So if we look at our first problem and we're trying to solve for A, one of the things that I mentioned in my video is how incredibly important it is when we are going through and solving is to vertically align all of my work. So when I'm going through and solving and I look at my problem, there's no parentheses, no exponents, so I'm going to move on to multiplying and dividing and working from left to right. In this case, division comes first. So I always go through and kind of put a little arrow to show the steps that I'm doing first. And 24 divided by 3 is 8. And then it's very important for you then to go through and rewrite the rest of the problem around it. And I typically go through and switch colors every time just to kind of show you the steps and help to keep myself organized, but also to show you that I've moved on to the next step and then focus on where that's going to be. So then multiplying, we still have a multiplication, which is 8 times 2, and that happens to be 16. And I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem around it. And now I'm left with addition and subtraction, so I'm just going to move from left to right. So 8 plus 16 is 24, and 24 minus 5 is 19. So A, that color doesn't show up very well. Let's try a different one. A equals 19. For the next problem, we've got 2 times, and then we've got brackets and parentheses. So a lot of times when it talks about parentheses, it may not be just your typical parenthesis that we see here. It might involve a bracket or a brace as well, because if there's more than one in a problem, they try to help distinguish the difference between by putting in 2 different types. So in this problem, we have parentheses and brackets. So when I go through and write my problem, 2 times bracket, 6 plus 2 times 4 plus 4, and bracket divided by 3. I always want to start with the parentheses inside of the brackets, and I'm still going to look to follow my order of operations, which would be multiplying and dividing before addition and subtraction. So 2 times 4 is 8, and then I'm going to rewrite everything around it in order to make sure that I don't miss any steps. So then I'm going to continue. There's still parentheses inside of the brackets. 8 plus 4 is 12. And then I need to go through and rewrite everything around it. So every time, this is where we call our vertical alignment. I'm doing a new line and I'm writing these vertically so I can keep myself organized. So now I'm just left with multiplying and dividing. So I'm going to work just straight from left to right. 2 times 18 is 36. And then I need to divide by 3. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. So B equals 12. So for my very last problem, we have 15 minus 5 plus 3 times 4. In this case, I don't have any parentheses or exponents involved. I just have multiplying and then adding and subtracting. So I'm going to start with my multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12. And I've got to make sure I rewrite the rest of my problem. And now I just have addition and subtraction left, so I'm just going to move from left to right. 15 minus 5 is 10. And then 10 plus 12 is 22. So C equals 22. All right, so I have a few extra practice here and reminders for you. And this is where we'll pull in some of those exponents to help us. But we've got types of groupings and symbols where we either have parentheses, brackets, braces, or we added this one in here, a fraction bar. So number 5 includes a fraction bar as a type of grouping. Reminding that multiplying and dividing and adding and subtracting, we always go from left to right. And then we want to make sure we're showing our work by having that vertical alignment. So let's look at number 1 together. With number 1, there are no parentheses, but there is an exponent. So I'm going to start there first. And 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So we have 24 minus 8. And remember that little dot means, oh, there we go, means to multiply times 2 plus 5. So next up, we're going to do 8 times 2, which is 16. And I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem around it. And now I only have addition and subtraction left, so now I just work from left to right. So 24 minus 16 is 8, plus 5 is 13. So number 1, my answer is 13. Although that doesn't really look much like a 13, so let's rewrite it. So this is where, ladies and gentlemen, it's really important that you are showing your work on a piece of paper, even though I know in your heart of hearts you guys can do this in your brain, but if you make a mistake, I can't look into your brain and help you figure out where that mistake is. Number 2 is just addition and subtraction, so I'm just going to work from left to right. So 5 minus 2 is 3. I'm going to rewrite the rest of my problem. 3 plus 9 is 12 minus 8. And then 12 minus 8 is 4. So number 2 is 4. 35 minus brackets 12 plus 3 times parentheses 1 plus 2 and parentheses and end bracket. So we're going to start with this one first, where I have brackets and parentheses. I have to start with the parentheses inside of the bracket first. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I'm going to rewrite the rest of my problem. Okay, so we've got 35 minus bracket 12 plus 3 times 3. Multiplication comes before addition in the bracket. Rewrite the rest of my problem. I need to finish solving what's in the bracket first. So 12 plus 9 is 21. And then 35 minus 21 is 14. Number 4, we have exponents and parentheses. In this case, we need to do what's inside the parentheses first. 4 plus 1 is 5 to the 2nd power divided by 1 to the 4th power. And because I've got 2 sets of parentheses, or I'm sorry, not parentheses, of exponents, we'll just go from left to right. So I've got 5 to the second power is the same as 5 times 5, which is 25. I'm going to rewrite my problem. 1 to the fourth power is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And then 25 divided by 1 is 25. Our very last one, and this is where we've added in, instead of having parentheses, they're using a fraction bar in order to separate the top section from the bottom section. So this is where we're going to do what's on top first. So 2 plus, well, 5 minus 2 is 3. And underneath it, I have 6 plus 9 divided by 3. So then I'm going to do the bottom next. Well, within the bottom, oopsies, I'm sorry. Within the bottom, I have division. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And I apologize because I should have rewritten all of that first. So 2 plus 3 over 6 plus 3. And then I'm going to add the numbers on the bottom together. So we've got 2 plus 3 over 9. Well, 3 over 9 is a fraction, or I could say 3 divided by 9. And then this would give me 2 whole and 1/3. So this is just another way that we can organize our thoughts. Right now, you will not see this in our practice. So for today, what I've done is you have 6 problems. So at the top, I just gave that reminder of following PEMDAS, working from left to right. And I've done an example for you on the A column, which the problems on the A are similar to problems that are in column B. So hopefully this will help in showing you the steps for vertical alignment and how to walk through and what you're looking for, because they're similar. Hopefully, again, it's there to help as a guide. You are to solve the 6 problems in B, and then you need to enter your answers into the Canvas quiz, and you need to go until you get 100%. If you have any questions, again, make sure you're showing all of your work and email me so I can help you work through them. Good luck.